In an unprecedented incident, at least one Indian has been killed and two others injured in a firing by Nepal border police. The Nepalese border guarding force opened fire on a crowd, killing a 22-year-old Indian man and injuring two others following an altercation. The incident has sparked tension along the Indo-Nepal border along Bihar's Sitamarhi district. The border guarding force, Nepalese armed police force, also detained a person identified as 45-year-old Lagan Yadav after this incident. Today's incident occurred at around 8:40 a.m. and about 134 kilometers from Patna, which is the capital of Indian state of Bihar. Reports vary where exactly the incident occurred, whether it occurred on the Indian or the Nepalese side of the border. The deceased, however, has been identified as 22-year-old Vikesh Yadav. The Indian Seema Suraksha Bal, or the border guarding force, has sent a report to the Indian Home Ministry. The incident comes in the midst of a raging boundary dispute between the two countries, with India sternly asking Nepal not to resort to any artificial enlargement of territorial claims after Kathmandu released a new political map laying claim over Lipu Lake, Kalapani and Limpiadhura. New Delhi maintains that these were part of Uttarakhand, while Kathmandu, in its latest map, had shown them as part of western Nepal. Meanwhile, this is a shocking incident where at least one Indian has died, two others have been injured in this firing by Nepalese border forces after allegedly a clash. Meanwhile, DG, Director General SSB, has issued a statement saying a local issue led to altercation which was avoidable. Listen.
Nepal APF, as it is alleged, and it is said by Nepal APF people, that they objected to this, saying that the lockdown in Nepal continues up to 14th of June, so they wanted him to go away. This led to some altercation, avoidable altercation I will say, because this was completely local issue that generated from an instant altercation. So this led to some people coming from Sonvarsa village, and they started arguing. Then Lagan Yadav was apprehended. It is being alleged by Nepal APF that all the villagers became aggressive, and they had to open fire, 15 rounds of fire. 10 rounds were fired in the air. And the villagers are saying that they got aggressive. Nepal APF got aggressive. They fired. So this is a version and counter version. That is subject matter of investigation.
WION's principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sivale is joining us live. Siddhant, coming to you for all the updates on this isolated incident, really, where an Indian has been killed, many others injured by this firing by Pakistan border security guards. How will this impact relations between India and Nepal?
Well, yes, it's right to say it's an isolated incident because never ever has such kind of incident has happened, and we have heard what the SSB, which mans the India-Nepal border, has to say, that it's a local incident, it's a local case of altercation. But it comes at a time when the relationship between Kathmandu and New Delhi hasn't been very good. In fact, tomorrow, that is, we know that the Parliament of Nepal, the lower house, will take up the amendment of the Arms of Court, where the map of the Nepal will be amended. We know that last month the Nepali government came out with its map which showed Indian territories as its own territories, and this claim has been something that has been 200-year-old, but suddenly the ultra-nationalistic government in Kathmandu said that they would like to have this map, and once this is passed in the lower house, it will go in the upper house, and after the president of Nepal signs it, it will become a law and give a constitutional backing to the map. Nothing changes on the ground, but what changes is the fact ties between New Delhi and Kathmandu. Kathmandu has been saying that they would like to have border talks with India, but India has said it's up to Nepal to create the positive environment. The positive environment means that such kind of insinuations coming from the Nepali government is surely going to hurt the government-to-government ties. But when it comes to people-to-people ties, we know that Indian government has yesterday reiterated the long-standing civilizational ties with the people of Nepal, and also talked about how India has been helping Nepal when it comes to the COVID trade crisis. And in fact, despite the lockdown on both sides of the border in Nepal and India, the trade went through smoothly between the two countries, especially given the fact that Nepal is a landlocked country. But by and large, today's incident is something that is going to raise the temperature, especially here in Delhi, given the fact that how ties have been. And of course, we know that the SSB has sent a report to the MHA, which is the parent ministry under which it comes, and both sides, the Indian officers have been speaking to their Nepali counterpart as well to make sure that it does not becomes a larger issue, as they have been reiterating that it's a local issue and it should not become larger. But of course, the timing is something that is surely going to be noted by the mandarins here in Delhi, because it does not bode well for the relationship between India and Nepal.
Absolutely, Siddhant. This also comes at a time when KP Oli government itself is facing a lot of criticism back home. There have been large-scale protests in Kathmandu and other locations across Nepal where people have alleged that the KP Oli government indulged in corruption as far as its battle against COVID-19 pandemic is concerned. We'll keep an eye out how today's incident affects Indo-Nepal ties. Thank you so much for joining us.